Barbara. It's a little rainy day today. It poured rain starting about 4 o'clock. It's only a little drippy now, but anyway. It's Friday, November 12th. I was thinking it was Saturday when I got up. I don't know why. So good. No, it's Friday. I haven't lost a day. Good morning. It's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee today. I will confess this is take 2. And only really because I was really rambly. It was just like too much even for me. So I'm going to try again. So my coffee's pretty low. But I'm feeling pretty good. I slept pretty well. It poured rain last night. Well, this morning, in the middle of the morning, like at 4 o'clock. And so I was kind of awake and sleeping since then. But I feel pretty good. I'm a little yawny, so if I yawn, I apologize. But otherwise, I slept pretty well. I had a headache when I went to bed, but I attributed that to my knitting and my needing new glasses, because I do, rather than to my booster shot, which I got yesterday. My arm is a little bit sore. Certainly, I can tell that, when I touch it, that I got my shot yesterday. But other than that, and going to bed with a headache, but I took 2 Advil and it went away. So I'm feeling like not too much in the way at this point of, symptoms or anything from the booster. We got our booster at a Rite Aid pharmacy, not too far from us. And so the situation wasn't such that I could actually knit. In fact, we didn't have to wait very long. The whole, every 20 minutes, I guess, was to not overwhelm the pharmacist. Because we got there about 3 o'clock, maybe 5 minutes to 3, 10 minutes to 3. And my appointment was for 3, and Dennis was 3:20, and Aura was 3:40. And I think that they just do that so that, the pharmacist can, do a batch of people and then, do pharmacist things. Because I overheard the clerk say, well, the pharmacist has to unlock that, so I can't do that until he's done, giving out the shots. So, look at that. I just discovered this. I have to take a look at that with my glasses on. Looks like it's just been pulled and needs a little attention. So easily distracted. So anyway, we didn't have to wait very long, and there were only 2 chairs there. 3 chairs. And so it wasn't the situation where I felt comfortable knitting on my sweater, to tell you the truth. If I had a sock, I was thinking if I had a sock, I could sit here and knit a sock, but the sweater is a bit much. So, but we weren't there very long. And, when my calculation based on the times and things was that we would be home at 4:30, and we were home before 4 o'clock. So it worked out fine. And so all 3 of us got our jabs, and so we're good. We wanted to make sure we had those before we go to Florida. We're trying to protect ourselves at Florida for as much as we can. Do everything. You just have to do as much as you can. You wear your mask, you stay away from people who are sick, you don't go to bars and restaurants, that kind of thing. So, and we have filters that we can deploy when we feel like we need it. We're taking them to Florida. And, yeah. So we're doing what we can. So that's what the booster was for. And, Aura needs it, too, because she needs to do what she can. So that was good. I, had a little headache last night, but like I said, might be my eyes or, I need new glasses. And I was knitting. I worked on my sweater a little bit. And I worked on my blanket a little bit. So, Dennis walked in and said, you don't feel like doing your sweater? I'm like, I am. I'm doing my sweater. He says, I thought you were doing your blanket. And I said, I was. I did my blanket. Now I'm doing my sweater, But I'm going to have to start. I'm hoping my mojo is strong enough to withstand working on a sock. Because I put Went to put a pair of socks on this morning. There was a big hole in the heel, like this big, literally this big, on one of the heels. And it was a little worn on the, it was worn, and then there was a hole, and you thought, yeah, wore through. But the other sock had no wear. So I have no idea how that happened. But I have a couple of pairs of socks that need to be darned, and I've never darned anything, although I have a darning mushroom. And I did buy darning needles, but I have no idea where they are because, I'm me. But I am thinking it's time that I might need to think about my sock situation, because I haven't made socks in quite a while, and they're starting, the to be repaired pile is starting to pile up. Luckily, I don't, I have an average size 8 foot. I don't, if I were my sister, I don't know that I could ever knit socks. She has an 11, although she would probably take a 52 stitch, and I'm a 64 stitch, so maybe it all works out in the end. I'm not sure, but anyway, so it's not like I have skis for feet like my sister, and so I could, it's a normal activity to make my socks. Some people have really big feet, and but I don't. I just have average feet. So I need to, and I have sock tubes. So I could, if I put my mind to it and spent a day or two working on heels and toes and cuffs, I could have 6 pairs of socks. I have a pair of Felici striped socks that I made quite some time ago, and I already have cut for the afterthought heel and put in double pointed needles to hold the stitches. They're ready to go for one of the heels. So I could have socks without too much work. And now that I feel like I'm getting my mojo back, maybe that would be okay. And maybe I could actually add to my sock wardrobe, because I'm wearing out my socks. I guess they don't last more than 4 or 5 years. And I wear my socks every day in the winter. My hand knit socks every day in the winter. I smile every morning putting on my socks, just like I've been wearing my sweaters. So I do not have a pair of pristine socks. And it never occurred to me, like box of socks that the Woolenvine used to do, and people would make socks and put them in the box and wouldn't wear them. Never. I would never save socks like that. I'm just like, I'm putting them in my, not that I did that, but, they would have been in my box after I washed them. I would put them back in the box. It wouldn't be that I would leave them nice and pristine until the end of the year. I wear my socks. And they're starting to show it. And now it's time for me maybe to learn how to darn. Maybe that's my next project. Who knows? Could happen. So I'm feeling a little bit like a knitter. I feel like my mojo's coming back. I don't want to squash my new mojo by like going full bore into some of the sock projects I have, because I probably have 4 or 5 socks going. And if I stop a sock, other than just pure the end of the mojo, it's usually because, I have a pair on the go that has this weird stitch in it, and, that kind of stuff. So there might have been a reason, or I might have some socks that, it's time to do the heel and I don't want to think about it. And in fact, I have a pair of socks. I'm in the middle of the heel, and then now I have to figure out where the hell I am, because I'm doing a Vanilla is the New Black heel, which I really like. It's a really easy heel to do 2 at a time, which is how I normally knit my socks. Anyway, I'm hoping that this little sprout of mojo that I'm having will grow strong enough to sustain itself on socks too. And I was thinking yesterday a couple of times, if I had a sock on the go, I could be doing socks now, but I can't do the sweater. So there you go. Maybe that'll work. The other project I have in mind is we're going to Florida in a week and a half. And last year I had sent the girls Advents, But I had bought more Advents than I sent because I had ordered a couple of Advents that when I got home, for one reason or another, I didn't want to send, and I picked new ones. So I actually have 3 Advents here that I bought for them last year. One of them was like Disney books, and when I got it here, it was big and heavy. And I was mailing it to Florida because we weren't going last year, and you know, the post office last year, and so I didn't send it. Anyway, so I didn't send that one, and I have a little, I think it's like Disney toys kind of thing, that when I got it there, I'm like, I don't know if Sammy's going to be really in love with this. And I got a charm bracelet Advent for Isabel, and I wasn't sure. It felt a little bit like maybe Sammy would like a charm bracelet. You know, I mean, I think Isabel would, but I think Sammy would too. And then, you know, and these little toys I got, maybe. So anyway, so I have these 3 Advents that I can take with me because we're driving. And, but I've started to think about that charm bracelet Advent. And I've decided to make charm bracelet Advents for both of the girls. And I'm going to take this Advent apart and see what the charms look like and how big they are and that kind of thing. But I can make charms easy peasy, and I just have to get little charms and lobster claws. And I have chain that I can make a cute little bracelet that's perfect for a charm bracelet. And so I am going to put together 2 Advents for the granddaughters of charm bracelets. And so December 1st, they'll get a charm bracelet with a charm on it, and an I and an S. So they'll each be able to tell which is their charm bracelet from the beginning. So that's my plan. And so maybe I'll go to the store today. I had asked at Joann's if they had any Advent kits, like to make your own Advent calendar for kids, and they didn't. So maybe I'll go to Michael's and see if they have something, you know, all set up with, you know, fancy envelopes and stuff. But the little envelopes that my stitch markers are in would be perfect. And they're just got covered with stickers. So I could, if Michael's doesn't have something I want, I can go to Staples and just get little envelopes, and I can get stickers. I have stickers. So anyway, that's my plan, and I have a week and a half to get that organized, and I think I can do that. And I'll be down there with them. We're leaving before the 1st, but I'll be down there with them, so I will be able to finish that bracelet and make sure the bracelet is kind of the right size for each of the girls before I leave, so that they'll be able to wear it. It's not going to be like a fancy, precious, like charm bracelet like they had in the 50s and the 60s, where, you know, you would give someone a charm for their birthday, you know, and it would be sterling silver with their stone in it and that kind of thing, you know, their birthstone. So this is not going to be that. It's going to be appropriate for a 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, but I'm going to be sure not to make it completely Christmassy either, so that they can wear it whenever they want to. It'll have a little Christmas on it because they got it at Christmas time. But anyway, that's kind of my plan. I'm thinking about that. So maybe I'll go out and about today and see what I can do to forward that plan, because that would be fun to give them a Advent that I had made for them. Yeah. And we'll take the other Advents, the stories, at least the stories, and, you know, because Isabel can read Sammy the stories and that kind of stuff. So I don't know about the other one. Maybe I'll give that to Toys for Tots. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking prior to going to Florida. So there you go. I might go out and about today, do that, or I might just go rummage upstairs in my jewelry making supplies, because I have lots of things that could be turned into charms, including my own beads. Yeah. including my own beads. I have beads that I made that would be like a earring set, so they could each have their own bead on their thing. Make sure we put them both in the same day so they both get the same thing. But that's why I need an I and an S on the bracelet, so that they won't get mixed up whose bracelet is whose. And I'm not saying I'm going to put all the same. They're not going to be identical. But anyway, I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm kind of excited. But I don't have to go out to start that because I have a lot of things in my craft room that could be charms. So I could start on the charm part and the bracelet, and then go find, and I would need to find little charms of the alphabet so that but initials, you can usually find initials and charms in the jewelry department at, Joanne or Michael's. So anyway, that's my thought for the Advent for the kids. I think they'll like that. So anyway, my plan today is maybe go out shopping and forward that thing, but maybe not. It's raining. It's still raining at the moment. And but it is Friday. So if I don't go today, then am I going on the weekend? It's not that busy. I suppose it doesn't make any difference at Michael's. If Michael's doesn't have it, I'll just have an Advent thing. I'll just go to Staples and make my own. I can do that. I think we have a Staples list anyway. But otherwise, I'm going to work on my blanket and I'm going to work on my sweater. I did make progress on my sweater, and I was feeling like a knitter. And a couple of thoughts went through my head. Oh, if I were knitting a sock, I could do that right now. And now I need socks. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, please take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe.